In the cold expanse of space, where empires rise and fall like distant stars, a new force emerged from the shadows. The mighty Zanzi, once the galaxy's most feared conquerors, found themselves outmatched and broken. Their fleets lay in ruin, their pride shattered, and their power stripped away in mere days. The humans, a primitive and overlooked species from a distant world, had turned the tide of galactic history with unexpected might and innovation. Their ships, faster, stronger, and more advanced than anticipated, proved that they were far from ordinary. The defeat of the Zanzi sent shockwaves through the coalition, reshaping alliances and strategies. Now, as the Trans-Union solidifies its dominance, humanity stands at the edge of destiny. Would they become a stabilizing force, an empire, or the galaxy's greatest unknown threat? The stars burned brighter with uncertainty, and the future remained unwritten. The Coalition's exploration drones discovered the SA system through their advanced scanning operations. Initial observations of the system indicated that most of the planets were barren, lifeless, or consisted only of gas giants. The drones found no significant markers or unusual anomalies until they focused on the third planet, which stood out from the others. The scans revealed that this planet was filled with a diverse range of biological life and had a complex ecosystem, making it far more intriguing than the rest of the system. This third planet was shockingly abundant with liquid water and a variety of plant and animal species, with its surface littered with stagnant islands of debris. Its presence hinted at something unusual about the planet's environment or history, as it differed greatly from the other lifeless worlds within the system. Even more notable was the discovery of a sapient species known as humans. Observations showed that humans had built structures and left traces of their technological presence, although the amount of debris surrounding their planet suggested that they had been largely unsuccessful in their attempts at space exploration. Scans revealed that this sapient species had a population of approximately 8 billion individuals. The space around their planet was chaotic, filled with failed attempts at orbital activity and abandoned technological structures. It became apparent to the Coalition scientists that the humans were a slow-moving, underdeveloped species with limited success in spacefaring technology. Despite their discoveries about space and technological advancements, they appeared to lack the advanced propulsion or faster-than-light capabilities necessary to escape their home planet or colonize other systems. The scientists noted that human space exploration failures were deeply tied to their slow technological growth. It was expected that humans would likely require hundreds of years to develop ships capable of space exploration on a meaningful scale. Furthermore, achieving faster-than-light travel was projected to take even longer unless the humans received assistance or radically altered their technological development. The Coalition found this development both curious and disconcerting, as they had never encountered a species that struggled with space exploration for such an extended period. Despite the technological limitations of humanity, their attempts at space exploration did signal some sort of curiosity or ambition. Although primitive compared to the Galactic Coalition's understanding and military strength, their technological attempts, however unsuccessful, suggested they would become a noteworthy observation point. The Coalition viewed the humans as a slow-moving, almost pitiful species with little chance of advancing. Nevertheless, their activity, curiosity, and sheer determination could become a potential variable that would eventually have consequences for the Coalition's interests in the future. The Coalition scientists continued to observe the humans' technological attempts with growing curiosity. Though their progress seemed abysmally slow compared to other galactic races, the humans showed an unyielding interest in exploring space. Despite failing to break free of Earth's gravitational constraints and dealing with significant amounts of space debris that littered their orbit, humans managed to make repeated attempts to push forward technologically. These efforts were clumsy, yet indicative of their determination, as their space endeavors signaled both ambition and desperation. From the Coalition's observations, it appeared unlikely that the humans would ever develop the necessary advancements for sustained space exploration on their own. The Coalition scientists speculated that humans would require at least 4 centuries to create ships capable of leaving Earth's orbit, and, even longer, to discover the secrets of faster-than-light travel. This slow rate of technological development was baffling to the Coalition, as most races demonstrated at least some immediate desire to escape their homeworld and explore the stars. Compared to other species that prioritize technological leaps toward FTL capabilities, humans were seemingly passive. Their failures in space exploration indicated both a lack of resources and an inherent struggle to push their technological boundaries, something that deeply puzzled the Coalition. Despite their technological shortcomings, the Coalition noted that the humans' failed attempts at space exploration revealed both their resourcefulness and resilience. The debris scattered in Earth's orbit told a story of trial and error. Numerous failed missions attempting to harness advanced technology and escape their homeworld's confines. Their slow pace could have spelled the end for many other species, but humans appeared to maintain a sheer willpower that was difficult to ignore. They had developed a kind of improvisational engineering, attempting to learn as much as possible from their mistakes, even if their progress remained negligible by galactic standards. The Coalition scientists considered this slow development a potential risk. While humans were technologically weak, they showed adaptability, and history had proven that even the weakest races could surprise their more advanced neighbors with unforeseen innovations. This realization heightened concerns about humanity's long-term trajectory and what consequences might arise if they overcame their technological limitations. Despite their current state, humans demonstrated a unique, albeit slow, pattern of discovery and innovation. This growing unpredictability began to make them a potential wildcard within galactic observations. A conflict soon erupted within the Coalition, involving two member races, the powerful and warlike Zanzi and the much newer and smaller Donic. The war between these two races was heavily one-sided, with the Zanzi being militarily superior and far more advanced. The Donic, despite being relatively new to the Coalition, were already seen as vulnerable due to their limited military strength and small population size. While the Donic were widely recognized as the victims in the war, few knew that their actions would provoke the wrath of the Zanzi military, especially given the political influence and military might of the Zanzi's leadership. The Zanzi's military campaigns against the Donic proved swift and merciless. They easily destroyed Donic colonies, burned entire worlds, and eliminated resistance with devastating ease. The Donic had few ships capable of defending their homeworlds or sustaining military operations, and as a result, they fell victim to the overwhelming Zanzi military. Even their allies and other coalition members remained hesitant to intervene, as they feared drawing the wrath of the Zanzi's superior forces. Eventually, the Donic were forced to surrender, their worlds conquered, their resources stripped, and their military infrastructure dismantled. This conflict showed the sheer disparity between the Zanzi's might and that of their weaker opponents. One of the Zanzi's senators suggested a calculated approach to resolving this conflict further. They proposed that rather than sending a full military expedition or powerful forces, it would be more efficient to send the Donic into a newly discovered system to observe the humans. This idea stemmed from both political strategy and a view that the Donic were of little importance or strategic value to the Coalition. By utilizing the Donic as the first explorers of Earth, the Coalition could conserve resources while studying the newly discovered human species. The suggestion came with the understanding that the Donic, with their limited technology and military strength, could serve as the perfect exploratory force without risking the lives or assets of more significant races within the Coalition. The Donic fleet, consisting of massive colony ships, civilian transports, and a small number of military assets, was sent to the newly discovered system with orders to explore and interact with Earth. These ships carried with them the remains of a population of over 7 billion survivors, refugees fleeing the aftermath of the Zanzi military's aggression. Packed into their ships and sent toward their new destination, the Donic people found themselves in an uncertain and precarious situation. Their ships lacked military support or a clear exit strategy. However, they moved forward into the system, driven by necessity and the hope that this exploratory mission would at least give their people a new chance at survival. This decision would soon set events into motion, as Earth and its inhabitants would prove far more resilient and resourceful than the Coalition anticipated. After the Daunic fleet reached the newly discovered system, a second probe was dispatched to monitor their interactions with Earth and gather intelligence about the situation. The probe's mission was straightforward: observe the arrival of the Daunic and assess how humans would respond to their presence. This probe, equipped with advanced scanning technology, revealed important details about Earth's governments and the rapid adaptation of its inhabitants to the arrival of such a large group of refugees. The intelligence it collected indicated that the humans' response was far more efficient and organized than the coalition had anticipated. The Earth's numerous governments had managed to accommodate the Daunic settlers quickly, and efforts to integrate them into human society began almost immediately. Large-scale construction projects unfolded at an incredible speed, with the Daunic refugees contributing to the construction of new cities and infrastructure. The massive machines humans had developed allowed them to print entire settlements within mere weeks. These efforts were supported by mining operations in the asteroid belt, where human freighters and mining vessels worked tirelessly to gather resources. Surprisingly, the humans appeared to be learning from and reverse engineering the technology the Daunic had brought with them, from particle shields to faster-than-light drives. This discovery startled the coalition observers, as the speed at which humans adapted was unprecedented. The technology once foreign to them became integrated into their ships, vehicles, and military capabilities at a rate that rivaled or even outperformed the Daunic's original technological advancements. Human ingenuity proved exceptional, as they managed to rework and repurpose these alien technologies to fit their own designs and operational strategies. Their newly designed ships, equipped with FTL drives, were faster and more efficient than many of the Coalition's military analysts could have predicted. The Coalition found themselves forced to confront this unexpected level of innovation. The rapid technological advancements demonstrated by humans sparked unease among Coalition leaders. While the Coalition had expected the humans to take years, if not decades, to adapt and build new infrastructure, the situation on Earth demonstrated just how quickly they could evolve when presented with the right tools and resources. Observers noted that the human response to the arrival of Daunic refugees was not merely practical, but industrious to a degree previously unseen. They constructed new ships and military assets with astonishing speed, and their capacity to reverse engineer advanced technologies seemed limitless. This rapid development raised concerns about the potential threat humanity could pose in the future and signaled that they were far more resourceful and capable than they first appeared. The Zanzi, growing increasingly wary of the humans' technological advancements and rapid development, began to mobilize their military forces. The Zanzi generals and leaders feared that the humans could become a serious threat to their dominance within the coalition if their technological trajectory continued unchecked. Zanzi officials took decisive steps, rallying the most powerful warships in their fleets and preparing them for a large-scale military strike. Their goal was to secure control of the newly discovered human technologies and ensure that Earth remained subservient to their superior military strength. The Zanzi military assembled a force of staggering proportions to carry out this mission. This fleet included a variety of massive ships, carriers, destroyers, battleships, and even a planet-killer dreadnought. These ships were the pinnacle of Zanzi military might, equipped with advanced weapons, superior shielding, and immense firepower. Their combined numbers and technological superiority gave the Zanzi confidence that they could crush Earth's newfound resistance with ease. The fleet was tasked not just with defeating the humans, but also with dismantling their technological edge by force if necessary. The Zanzi leaders believed this was a necessary preemptive strike to ensure their continued dominance and military superiority. The overwhelming strength of the Zanzi fleet was intended to be a show of force, one that would leave no doubt in the minds of Earth's inhabitants about the Coalition's capabilities. Zanzi warships crossed the system, approaching Earth with their full armaments and intentions clear. The humans, however, were not as helpless as the Zanzi had assumed. A small fleet of human warships, assembled in response to the approaching threat, was already being mobilized to meet the Zanzi head-on. It was an ambitious and somewhat desperate move, as Earth was still relatively new to military space operations and lacked the extensive experience that the Zanzi possessed. The clash came when the two forces met near Mars, a small red planet on the edge of the inner system. Human ships, initially numbering only a few dozen, quickly grew in strength as more joined the fight from seemingly out of nowhere. This sudden appearance of additional ships revealed that humanity had managed to rapidly build military assets and expand its fleet capabilities, utilizing the technology they had reverse-engineered from the Donic. Despite their technological inexperience, the humans displayed surprising tactical adaptability, standing toe-to-toe with a vastly superior Zanzi fleet in combat. The initial battle was intense, with both sides trading devastating blows as they fought for control of the system. The Zanzi had expected a quick and overwhelming victory, but the humans proved their strength, resilience, and ingenuity as they fought back fiercely. The battle near Mars turned out to be far more evenly matched than anyone anticipated. Although the Zanzi military was formidable and far superior in experience, the humans proved to be surprisingly capable adversaries. Their fleet, consisting of dozens of newly constructed warships, fought with incredible coordination and determination. Despite having previously been considered technologically inferior, the humans demonstrated tactical skill, utilizing their ships in ways that matched and even countered the advanced Zanzi strategies. It was clear that their rapid technological development and adaptation had given them a fighting chance against one of the most powerful military forces in the galaxy. The Zanzi fleet, initially confident in their overwhelming power, soon found themselves struggling. The humans' willingness to engage directly with their forces forced the Zanzi to reconsider their tactics. The fight was brutal, with the Zanzi losing ships as the human fleet pressed forward. What began as a battle intended to subjugate and intimidate soon became a drawn-out struggle, with the Zanzi ships suffering significant losses. The human ships, while initially outmatched by Zanzi's superior numbers, proved to be faster, more agile, and better equipped in certain key areas. The battle escalated as the two sides fought for control, each side attempting to use their fleet's strengths against the other. As the conflict raged on, the Zanzi leadership became increasingly desperate. Their forces had suffered losses at the hands of the human ships, and their tactical advantage began to slip. Recognizing that they could not win the battle outright, the Zanzi decided to retreat. However, their retreat was not without consequences. The human fleet, aided by well-coordinated maneuvers and strategic use of their new ships, managed to inflict substantial damage on the Zanzi's remaining vessels. The Zanzi's attempts to escape were met with a relentless series of strikes from human strike craft and boarding actions. This showed the extent to which the humans had become a serious military threat, capable of turning the tide of even the most desperate battles. The Zanzi's defeat shocked the coalition. The full fleet, once thought to be invincible, was reduced to half its original strength as a result of human resistance. Their strategic position was weakened, their military resources depleted, and their morale shattered. The retreat was not just a tactical withdrawal. It was a clear sign that humans had managed to push back against one of the most powerful and well-equipped military forces in the galaxy. The Zanzi generals, stunned by this development, began to question their previous assumptions about humanity. This battle was not merely a tactical defeat, but a symbolic one, demonstrating that the humans were far from the weak and technologically inferior species they had once believed them to be. After the shocking defeat of the Zanzi fleet at the hands of the humans, the Zanzi leadership was thrown into a state of disarray. The once unassailable might of their military had been severely crippled, and their confidence in their ability to dominate other races was shattered. The Zanzi generals and admirals found themselves under pressure from their own government to respond to this unprecedented failure. The loss was not just tactical, but symbolic, a clear demonstration that humanity was no longer the weak, spacefaring species they had assumed, but a rising and dangerous power. This defeat prompted outrage among the Zanzi High Command, with many demanding accountability from their leaders. One of the most alarming aspects of this defeat was the destruction of the flagship dreadnought, which had been a cornerstone of Zanzi's military strength. The loss of this formidable vessel, along with its advanced weaponry and strategic command capabilities, further underscored the magnitude of the Zanzi's failure. Zanzi officers were now forced to consider how they could recover from such a devastating blow, especially as their military resources were stretched thin and their forces had sustained heavy losses. Discussions within the Zanzi leadership focused on how to reorganize their fleets and rebuild their strength. But doubts lingered about their ability to maintain their former dominance against such a formidable and adaptive enemy. To make matters worse, the Zanzi leadership soon learned that the destruction of their fleets had left them vulnerable. The human fleet, having dealt a decisive blow to their military, did not hesitate to press their newfound advantage. The survivors of the Zanzi fleet were intercepted by human forces, who were eager to capitalize on their victory. The once powerful Zanzi dreadnoughts, the ships symbolizing their military supremacy, were now targets for human strike forces and boarding operations. The retreat turned into a strategic nightmare, as Zanzi ships were dismantled and neutralized by the coordinated human strike craft and advanced military strategies. This rapid turn of events solidified the fact that the Zanzi were no longer the dominant military power they had once been. In the aftermath, the Zanzi were forced to sign a humiliating treaty of unconditional surrender to the newly formed Tran-Union, a coalition of forces that had seized on the humans' military success. This treaty marked the end of Zanzi dominance and effectively dismantled their military power. As part of the surrender, the Zanzi relinquished all their slaves, technology, and military resources, including the remaining 5 dreadnoughts. These ships, once symbols of Zanzi's might, were now repurposed and occupied by the Tran-Union, looming ominously over the Zanzi homeworld's capital. This crushing defeat sent a clear message to the rest of the galaxy. The Zanzi were no longer as powerful as they once were, and humanity had proven itself as a significant, rising force. The defeat of the Zanzi fleet and the signing of the treaty sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy. For the first time, a previously unstoppable military force had been reduced to surrender by a single, relatively unknown species. This defeat demonstrated that the humans were not only technologically adaptive, but also capable of extraordinary tactical innovation. Their victory was not merely the result of advanced technology, but their strategic choices and determination. The Zanzi's inability to maintain their military supremacy revealed a major shift in the balance of power within the galaxy, and this left many other races deeply unsettled. The Zanzi had once ruled with dominance and strength, but their defeat showed that even the mightiest can be undone. The Zanzi military, now reduced to a shadow of its former strength, found itself in a position of weakness as the coalition and other powerful races took notice. Once a feared and dominant empire, the Zanzi's position had crumbled. The Tran-Union, empowered by this victory, now wielded considerable military and political influence. The loss of their advanced ships, including the dreadnoughts, represented a devastating blow not only to their fleet, but also to their national prestige. Many in the Zanzi leadership wondered if their power would ever be restored, given the technological gap they now faced. This defeat caused many races to question the long-standing military and political order and ponder what the humans' role in this new galaxy would become. The Zanzi homeworld, once secure and protected by its superior military might, now faced the daunting reality of occupation. With the Tran-Union taking control of the Zanzi's most powerful assets, the Zanzi people found themselves vulnerable and without the means to wage war or maintain their position of influence. The 5 dreadnoughts, powerful planetary killing ships that had once symbolized their military superiority, now orbited ominously over their capital, a stark reminder of their loss. Many in the Zanzi population and military command began to lose hope as they struggled to rebuild from the defeat. The power they had once wielded so confidently now felt like a distant memory, and the Zanzi people could only brace themselves as the Tran-Union established dominance over them. In the face of this crushing loss, the Zanzi military and political leadership began to reassess their place in the galaxy. Their defeat revealed how vulnerable they had become and forced them to prioritize rebuilding their shattered military and diplomatic standing. While many feared rebellion and resistance, the Zanzi leadership knew that their chances of regaining power would be slim without significant technological advancement and military innovation. Their once pristine empire, built on conquest and strength, now lay in ruins, with the TranUnion and humanity standing as powerful, imposing threats. The Zanzi now faced the slow and arduous process of healing their empire and attempting to find a new role in a galaxy that had dramatically shifted in a matter of weeks. The defeat of the Zanzi fleet and the subsequent signing of the unconditional surrender to the TranUnion left the galaxy in a state of uncertainty. The humans, having proven themselves as a surprising and powerful new force, now loomed as both a potential ally and a threat to the established order. Many races throughout the coalition watched this development with a mixture of awe and fear, as the humans demonstrated technological innovation and military capabilities far beyond what had been anticipated. The speed at which the humans had adapted, especially in reverse engineering alien technologies and creating their own advanced ships, unsettled many observers who had underestimated them as a primitive species only recently beginning their space exploration journey. The Zanzi defeat had also shown how quickly military supremacy could shift within the coalition. Once seen as untouchable and invincible, the Zanzi had now become an example of how even the mightiest could fall. Their reliance on brute strength and overwhelming military might was their downfall, and many other races began to question their own strategies and military doctrines. This defeat sent ripples through diplomatic and military planning, as the powerful races of the coalition began to fear that the humans' rapid technological progression and military adaptability might threaten their own status quo. Zanzi's fall from grace opened the door for new questions. Who would fill the power vacuum left by their defeat? Would the humans take that role? Or would other races seek to re-establish dominance? The TranUnion, now strengthened by its military victory and newly acquired assets, sought to solidify its position as a dominant galactic power. They held great leverage over the other races, having defeated one of the most powerful fleets in the galaxy and forced the Zanzi to surrender their military, technology, and resources. The victory over the Zanzi also brought with it the fear of what the humans might do, given their proven ability to build new ships and advance at an alarming rate. The TranUnion's cautious approach towards humans reflected the careful balance they now sought to maintain, keeping their newfound dominance while trying to understand and predict the ambitions of this rising species. The humans' role in this new galactic order remained uncertain. Although they had demonstrated their military power and technological ingenuity, they had not yet solidified their place among the established races. Their rapid adaptability and willingness to fight, as well as their advanced engineering capabilities, marked them as a potential game-changing force in the galactic political arena. Many wondered if the humans would become a stabilizing force or an aggressive new empire seeking to expand their influence. Regardless, the defeat of the Zanzi and the events surrounding the humans' technological advancements sent a clear message to the other powerful galactic races. The balance of power was in flux, and a new era of political and military alliances, rivalries, and ambitions was about to unfold. The aftermath of the Zanzi defeat and the signing of the unconditional surrender to the TranUnion sent ripples through the entire galactic coalition. Never before had a military force been so thoroughly dismantled, especially one as powerful as the Zanzi. Their pride, strength, and technological advancements had crumbled in a matter of days, replaced by fear, uncertainty, and submission. This historic event marked the beginning of a new power dynamic in the galaxy, as the Zanzi, once invincible conquerors, now faced subjugation and the loss of their once unyielding dominance. The defeat not only crippled their fleet, but also dismantled much of their political influence, leaving their citizens and military leaders grappling with what their future would hold. The Zanzi leadership now faced a difficult reality. Rebuilding their empire would take decades, if not centuries. Their military assets were severely depleted. Their most powerful ships had either been destroyed or seized, and their ability to maintain interstellar dominance had been stripped away. To add to their troubles, the humans loomed as a new and unexpected threat. Their technological advancements, ability to reverse engineer alien ships, and strategic adaptability had proven they could pose a serious challenge to many of the galaxy's established military powers. The Zanzi could no longer rely on brute strength or traditional military strategies to maintain their position in the galactic order. Their reliance on overwhelming power had led to their downfall, and now they were forced to consider new approaches or risk being permanently subjugated. For the other powerful races of the coalition, the defeat of the Zanzi was both an opportunity and a threat. While some saw this as a chance to expand their own influence by filling the power vacuum left by the Zanzi's defeat, others feared the consequences of this newfound instability. With the humans rising as an unpredictable new power, and the Zanzi stripped of their military might, there was potential for conflicts to emerge as alliances shifted and old rivalries reignited. The actions of the Trans-Union, having emerged victorious, would be especially significant in shaping this new balance of power. With the Zanzi now surrendering their military assets and resources to the Union, other factions within the coalition began to watch closely, wondering how much influence the Trans-Union would exert in the days ahead. The humans, meanwhile, stood at the heart of this shifting dynamic. Their role was still unclear, but their military and technological capabilities, as well as their speed of adaptation, showed that they were far from being passive players. Their victory against the Zanzi, their ability to reverse engineer advanced alien ships, and their innovation sent a stark message to all other races in the coalition. Humanity was a force to be reckoned with. This raised questions among other galactic powers. Would humanity align itself with the Trans-Union, remain neutral, or pursue its own goals? As the humans continued to expand their presence, build new ships, and utilize FTL technology at a pace unseen in galactic history, it was clear that the coalition would need to tread carefully. The defeat of the Zanzi marked the end of an era, but it also ushered in a new age of alliances, ambition, and the uncertain power of an emerging species.